Hey everybody, this is Jimmy checking up with all y'all. I hope you are staying safe, staying healthy, sane. I just got back from an Open Texas rally in Frisco. It is the biggest rally that they've had to date, and I was very glad to be a part of it. I wanted to take this time to speak quickly on what's been on my mind since the beginning of quarantine, and that is why I believe social distancing regulations and stay-at-home orders are unconstitutional. I'll start with the First Amendment. There are a few rights that are guaranteed under the First Amendment. The first is the free exercise of religion. You're able to practice your religion the way you want to practice your religion. However, there are many local governments, cities, counties, and states that have completely prohibited in-person worship, even with drive-through worship, which adheres to proper social distancing guidelines. They've on top of that, they have restricted the amount of employees that a lot of religious institutions can have in their building at one time. I view this as a violation of the free exercise of religion clause in the First Amendment. The next freedom guaranteed is the freedom of speech, which is the one that almost everybody knows. There was a story, however, that came out from Wisconsin, that a teenage girl had posted to her social media describing some symptoms she was having that was similar to coronavirus. At the request of her school district, however, she was visited by a police officer. And the police officer reportedly told her that one of two things could happen. She could either delete the posts, or he could come back and arrest her and her parents, which is just a blatant violation of the First Amendment. Lastly, from the First Amendment, you have the right to peacefully assemble. You can gather with people. You can protest actions your government are taking. But there are states like North Carolina that have viewed protesting as a non-essential activity. They are not only dispersing people from these protests, they're arresting people for purely exhibiting their First Amendment rights. The next amendment is the Second Amendment that I believe has been infringed upon. That says the rights of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. There have been many gun stores that have been forced to shut down their doors because they are viewed as non-essential. And that makes it so that people who want to defend themselves, who want to be able to have that security, are not able to because they can't access those weapons. On top of that, permits and licensing have, in a lot of places, have been delayed or not being issued at all. And that makes it so that you cannot conceal carry until your government tells you you can, which might take weeks, months, who knows how long it can take at this point. So that's why I view it as a violation of the Second Amendment. Next is the Fifth Amendment. Part of it says that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. You have business owners who are not able to use their business in the way they see fit. They are not able to use their business, which is their property. Landowners are not able to open up their land the way they see fit. They're not able to use that tangible property, which is why I see that as a violation of the Fifth Amendment. On top of that, or kind of following up with that, you have the 14th Amendment, which extends all of these civil liberties to the states as well. It makes it so that the states cannot infringe upon any of these amendments. And they actually say specifically, again, they reiterate that the states shall not deprive anybody of their life, liberty, or property without due process of law. The final violation that I would like to talk about is actually a part of the original text. The Founding Fathers thought this was so important that they didn't even wait to put it in an amendment. They just threw it into the Constitution. It is from Article 1, Section 10. It is the Contract Clause. And what the Contract Clause says is that no state shall pass any law impairing the obligation of contracts. When you have governments saying that a landlord has to freeze rent or freeze evictions, they are essentially altering the terms of the contract. They are altering the obligations of the contract. If a government makes it so that a business cannot follow through on their obligations. Say, a business who needs to provide service, a business who needs to provide products. That is a violation of the Constitution. It is not the government's role to interfere in private dealings. These are contracts between two private parties. The public sector has nothing to do with that. So those, in my opinion, are unconstitutional. So that is why I view these restrictions as a violation of our liberties, a violation of our freedoms. Liberties and freedoms are something that I've valued for a very long time, and I will continue to value. And so I wanted to make it known that our liberties are on the line. If you can think of any other restrictions that are unconstitutional, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I love to hear every side of an issue. I will never discount your opinion because I disagree with it. I would love to hear from you. So put something down in the comments if you disagree. With that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you on the other side of quarantine.